Hey everybody, and welcome to Bright Earth Yoga. Today we have a special class. It's a detox class with a special focus on stretching the low back. So there will be a little low back love. So I don't think there's anything magical about purifying your body or anything, but this is a class about getting rid of negativity and thoughts and feelings that aren't serving you, just paying some attention to those and learning to let some of those things go. This is a class for experienced yogis. It's not an advanced class, but if you're a beginner, just keep in mind that this class assumes that you have some basic knowledge of some of the poses, and it does move a little faster. All right, so before we start, let's just find a comfortable seat. I'm just gonna sit here in Vajrasana, Thunderbolt pose, sitting back on my heels. And we're starting here because we're gonna set an intention for the class. So keeping this theme of detox in mind, maybe something comes to mind that's really been on your mind lately that isn't serving you well. Maybe something negative you've been telling yourself. We tend to have a lot of negative self-talk. It's something that you're wanting to kind of purge from your thought process. Whether it's a view you have of yourself or something in the past that happened, something that really bothers you that you're having trouble letting go. And we all have things like that. It's not bad to have things like that. It's just human. And we go through this process of chewing things over and over and over again. And it can be so hard to just kind of open your clenched fist and let that thing float away. So this is a game. I'm going to open my eyes for a minute. If your eyes are closed, you can too. This is a game that is my 2-year-old's favorite game right now. I don't really know what it is, but he'll say, throw it away, mama. So I'll hold it and I'll say, you want me to throw it away? And he goes, yeah, toss it. So I toss it away. And then he says, oh, it came back. It came back. And I'm like, oh, okay, toss it to me. So he tosses it to me. I don't know what it is. And then he says, throw it away. So I throw it away. And we'll do this over and over again. So your process of detoxification may look a lot like that. Like it may come back again and again and again. And this is just a process, so remember that. So if it keeps coming back, that's part of what we're going through, and that's totally normal. And you might just have to keep tossing it away. So I'm going to close my eyes again and settle back in here and just think of that. Just toss it away. Toss it away again and again. And maybe eventually coming to a place where you can focus on just the present moments and the time that we're about to have on our mats. A lot of mosquitoes today. All right. So we're gonna gently flutter the eyes open if they're closed, and we'll start today's practice in, there's a squirrel over there who's got one of my peaches, I think. You're welcome. We're gonna start today's practice in child's pose. Oh, somebody's distracted today. All right, that's okay. Even if you're distracted on your mat, we're all bringing stuff like that to our practice. We don't ever come to the mat with a perfect mindset. There's no such thing. So I'm in a child's pose with my knees wide. You can take a variation that suits you this morning. We're just gonna start here, connecting with the earth. Maybe you can turn the head side to side, massaging the forehead, that third eye space. If you like, you can walk your hands over to one side of the mat, stretching out through the side of the body. And then switch sides. Good. For a little extra love in the shoulders, you can come up onto the fingertips and maybe rest on the chin. And we'll just find a little twist in child's pose. So without coming super high out of your child's pose, just thread the left arm under and reach the fingertips up to the top of the mat, maybe crawling them over towards the left side, the left corner of the mat. And then we'll switch that twist, threading the right arm under. If you haven't paid attention to your breath yet, go ahead and draw your focus there, filling the body with air and emptying the lungs completely as you exhale. That last part is so important. As you exhale, just rid the body completely of breath. Don't let anything stagnant stay in there. We want deep, full breaths in and out. All right, so press yourself up. We're going to come to tabletop for some cats and cows. All right, so we're connecting breath and movement here. Good, and you can start to add extra movements in here, just a little free flow. All right, just a few more movements here. And then we'll slowly start to come back to neutral. All right, so moving from tabletop, walk your hands forward, tuck your toes, plank pose. I like to keep my toes together here, heels drawing in, not splaying out to the sides. My goodness, there's so many mosquitoes out here. So we're in a nice strong plank. We're going to just tap the knees to the elbows. First, left knee to left elbow, then right knee to right elbow, and then we'll cross over. Left knee to right elbow, and the other side. All right, good. Now send the hips back. First, downward facing dog. We're going to just work our way into the back of the body gently here. Pedaling out the heels. Any movements you need here to settle into your first downward facing dog of the class. Good, and we're going to move from downward facing dog down into Anahata Asana, melting heart pose. Some people call it puppy pose. Any version that you know of this pose will do. We're opening up the heart space, opening up the shoulders. Good. So coming up out of that pose, we're going to move on to forearm plank now. So coming down onto the forearms, tuck the toes, lift the knees. Here we are. All right, some knee taps again. Left knee to left elbow. Good. We'll really tricep here. Other side. And crossovers. Here's 1, Ooh, that's tough here, especially with my belly today. And other side, don't have a lot of space. All right, we'll hold this forearm plank for just another moment here, continuing to breathe. Don't hold your breath. Good, and we'll make our way back to downward facing dog. Good. So I mentioned, as we work our way into downward facing dog again, that this class, ooh, ant bite, ouch, that this class is pays special attention to the lower back. So you might be wondering why I'm combining these two things, detox and low back love. And it's because really I think we store a lot of feelings and emotions in the low back, which is one area that so many people are like suffering from. They're like, I really, my low back is achy. I want to stretch it, you know, what can I do for my low back? If you have an injury, this isn't for you. But if you want to like stretch out your low back and just feel a little sore, I definitely do sometimes, especially with my baby bump, this is a good class for you. All right, so we're in downward facing dog, and we're going to take a slow walk up to the top of the mat, working our way into the legs. All right, let's start to warm up the body here. First, in a forward fold, walk your feet wide, just kind of sway the hips back and forth. Good. I'm going to walk my feet back in line here. You can have feet under hips or toes touching. Halfway lift, flat back, exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, come to equal standing, samastitihi. And I'm just gonna swing the arms around, loosening up the body. Good. We're gonna move through 3 sun A's. Surya Namaskar A. So come to stillness, equal standing, and on your breath in, reach the arms up, and exhale, forward fold. You can bend the knees for this first one. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, hands down, step it back, lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. All right, we're moving quickly here. Bend the knees, hop to the top of the mat. Inhale to halfway lift, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up, and exhale, equal standing. Moving quickly. Breath in, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hop it back. Plank, lower halfway. Inhale to back bend, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Keep going. Step or hop it up. Halfway lift as you inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, equal standing. Last sun A here. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, hop it back. Lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. All right. Step or hop it up to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach all the way up. And exhale, equal standing. Very good. All right, so let's move through one more vinyasa to make it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, come back to plank. Take a vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Good. Take a few deep breaths here in your down dog before we start to move through our sequences. Good. Then we're going to lift the left leg up high, open the hips, so drop that heel down towards your glute. Good. On your next breath in, reach the leg back up and step it forward. Low lunge. On your inhale, reach the arms up, lift up. Good. And then we're going to add a twist. So on your next exhale, we're going to twist towards the left. Just a nice unsupported twist here. continuing to breathe. Good. And then come back to center. We're going to sit back for Triang. So sitting to the inside of the right calf here. Inhale, reach up, and we'll fold over the extended leg. Good. So we're going to shift forward, coming out of Triang. Move to a modified side angle. Kickstand the back leg. Plant your forearm and reach the right arm up and over. Good. Nice and open through the side body. Pressing the right hip forward. Finding lots of opening in that space there. Good, and then bring the arms back down and frame the foot. Step it back and take a vinyasa. Downward facing dog. All right, this time lift the right leg up, drop the heel down towards the glute, and open up in that hip space. On your next breath in, reach the leg back up and step it forward. Low lunge, drop the knee. Lift the arms and take your unsupported twist. Good, now come back to center and we'll sit back for Triang, sitting to the inside of the left leg. And before I fold, you can go ahead, I'm gonna fix my microphone, which keeps falling. All right, settling into this fold here. Good. Now shifting forward, modified side angle here. Kickstand the back foot, plant your forearm, and reach up and over, stretching through the side body, pressing your left hip forward. Super open here. Good. And come on back, framing the front foot with your hands. Step it back. Take a vinyasa. Downward facing dog. All right. Lift the left leg. Keep going here. Step it forward. High lunge. Inhale. Lift the arms. Same thing this side. We're going to twist. Nice unsupported twist here. Good, and coming back to center, hop that back foot up for pyramid pose. So, and we'll fold from the hips over the front leg. Inhale to halfway lift, and then use the strength of your legs to stand all the way up. I'm going to adjust my feet for triangle pose. Good. So I've got my body facing the long end of the mat, nice and strong legs here. And then, as my 2-year-old says, tip me over and pour me out. He thinks this is super funny when I say this. You probably don't. Maybe you do. Maybe you're doing this with your kids. My child would not sit through this. Good. Now make sure you're peeling open this right hip. pressing it forward, just like we did in the modified side angle. And then bring the arms back down to frame your front foot. Step it back. Take a vinyasa. Good. Moving straight on to the other side. On your inhale, lift your right foot. And step it forward for high lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And find your twist. Good. Come back to center. Hop the back foot up for pyramid pose. Fold from the hips. Good. Inhale, halfway lift, and then use the strength of your legs to stand all the way up. Readjust your feet facing the long end of the mat and move into triangle pose. Good, now bring the arms back down, frame the foot, step it back, take a vinyasa. And meet in downward facing dog. Good, we'll take 5 breaths here, so find a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. 1, take a deep breath in and breathe out. 2, deep breath in and deep breath out. 3, deep breath in and deep breath out. 4, last time, breathe in and breathe out. 5. All right, come on down to the forearms for dolphin pose. So nice big dolphin pose here. You can walk the feet a little closer. Good. Really work to get your shoulders over your elbows. And try not to dump in between the shoulder blades, but you want to have nice strong shoulders here. You can come up onto the tippy toes, almost like you're going to pop up into forearm stand here. If you're still working on strength, you can interlace the fingers, forming a little triangle base there. Good, and from dolphin pose, we'll settle back down into a yummy child's pose. Good. So my knees are wide. You can always bring your knees together, and that'll help stretch out the back. I don't have the space for that in my body right now, but you are welcome to do so. Good. Now we're going to press ourselves up, and coming out of child's pose, we'll just swing those feet around and come to a seat here. All right, so from the seat, I'm going to take my left leg and just move into a hip cradle here, rocking out the hip, finding little movements back and forth, side to side. Good, and then I will plant my foot, sit up nice and tall, and then I will twist to the left. If you have more space than me, you can move into a bind. And as you exhale, maybe you find yourself sinking a little deeper into the twist. You can use your left fingertips to support the spine as you sit up nice and tall. So we're not cranking into the twist, but we are trying to be supportive and gentle. Good, now come back to center. Inhale, reach the left arm up and over as you clasp the outer blade of the foot. Folding here. It's okay if your left hip pops up off the ground a little bit. That's perfectly all right. Good, and coming up out of your fold, I'm going to let this leg just melt on down to the ground as I move into a version of Janu here. And then I'm turning towards the extended leg and folding again. So this feels really nice for my lower back and for my side, specifically the left side of my lower back. This is a great way to stretch the lower back. And come back up. We're just going to do that same sequence on the other side. So this time, cradle that right leg, stretching out the hip, finding movement. Good. And then I'm going to plant that hip and first move into a twist, twisting to the right, supporting myself with my fingertips to set up nice and tall, sinking into the twist with each exhale. And come back to center. Inhale, reach the right arm up and over to the outer blade of the foot. Remember, it's fine if your right hip is popping up off the ground a little bit. Good. Coming up out of the fold, let that right leg sink on down to the ground, sitting up nice and tall, fold over the extended leg. Honestly, this pose feels so nice to me. I could probably stay here for like 5 minutes. I love this in a yin class. All right, now press up out of your fold. Good. And we'll just send both legs long. Pausing for a moment in Dandasana. And then inhale to reach the arms up and exhale, fold. I'm going to make a little space for my bump here. Good, so on your breath in, slowly come up out of your seated forward fold. We're going to move into just a brief seated meditation. So for mine, I'm going to come into Hero's Pose. But if you have another seat you prefer, Sukhasana, Lotus Pose, if you feel prepped for it, I never do, you are welcome to come into one of those poses. But I like to come into Virasana. Hero's Pose is a nice, comfortable seat for me. And I am going to place my hands face down on my thighs. Some more calming gesture, but if you want more receiving gesture, you can flip the palms up. Just depends on what sort of energy you're experiencing today in your body. So soften the muscles around the eyes. If it's challenging to close your eyes, you can just soften the gaze, not really looking at anything in particular. And focus on relaxing the muscles of the face, around the mouth and the jaw. And soften the neck and relax the shoulders. Allow the breath to flow easily in and out the nose. So recall to mind right now your intention that you set at the beginning of this class. What is that thing that you are wanting to let go? In what way do you need to detox? Maybe it's that negative self-talk that we all struggle with. And the first step in that battle is just learning to recognize it, to spot it as it comes up for something that is false, something that's inauthentic, it's not true of you. And just start to let go of those dark things, that negativity, and create a space in which light can enter. Start to welcome in new things. If you've been struggling with negative self-talk, create a little space for gratitude and kindness for yourself, for positive thoughts about who you are to enter your mind, to sink down from your mind into your body, to permeate the tissues. You are strong. You are loved. And here we are right now, together, enjoying such a precious time on our mats. We're going to end this brief little meditation with 3 cleansing breaths. So find a deep breath in through the nose, open the mouth, and exhale everything out. Again, inhale through the nose, open the mouth, and exhale. Last time, deep breath in. And really, as you exhale, let it all go. Good. Softly flutter the eyes open, just enough to make your way down onto your back. Before we move into Shavasana, let's take a quick little twist. So let the knees drop to one side of the mat. Any twist, any version of this twist that suits your body today. And then drop your knees to the opposite side. And come back to center. Hug the knees up to the chest. Maybe find a quick little happy baby in here. And then send the legs long, setting up for Shavasana here. Take up space on your mats. Let the toes flop out to the sides. Palms are open up to the sky as the shoulders melt back down into the mat. Try to really give yourself a time for this Shavasana today, making sure that you allow yourself time for what your body needs, for what your mind needs here at the end of this class. The light in me sees the light in you. Namaste.